Hey there, and welcome to Careers Unchecked, the podcast where we stop checking boxes and start making moves. This is for barrier breakers, career builders, and anyone who's ready to build a career that actually feels like theirs. I'm Brandi Oldham, career coach, interior designer, and year-round iced coffee drinker. Around here, we keep it real, from navigating career pivots to figuring out how to stay balanced when your to-do list feels like it's just never ending. Whether you're chasing that next promotion, thinking about switching things up, or just trying to figure out what's next, you're in the right place. My goal? To help you trust yourself, take action that feels good, and build a career that's sustainable, not stressful. So grab your drink of choice, settle in, and let's get to it. Let's be honest. Have you ever stood in a room full of strangers, awkwardly holding a drink you didn't even want, trying to make small talk that feels, painful? Same. The good news, the best networking doesn't happen in these rooms. It happens one-on-one over coffee where you can actually be yourself. Let me tell you more. For those of you listening in today, if you aren't familiar with Clifton Strengths, I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview on what that is. It used to be called Strength Finders. It's now been rebranded by Gallup to be Clifton Strengths. It is a data-based assessment that allows you to understand your specific areas of expertise or strengths that are just natural to you. I am a Clifton Strengths Certified coach. I highly believe in this assessment for a few reasons. I could go on a whole rant about this, but number one, it's data-based. They are constantly doing research all over the globe. It's not just here in the US about how to best analyze people and find their strengths. It's always being questioned, which I think is really wise and valuable. And it doesn't put people in a box. It actually looks at you as a unique human and tries to help you understand how you do things best in the world. So my top five are strategic, futuristic, which works well as an entrepreneur, and then individualization, relator, and communication. So you would think, based on those three, that I would love networking events like this. I hate them. I loathe them. If I had high woo is what it's called. It's actually my number 23. Maybe I would be a little more into events like this where I can blip from person to person and do like a superficial meet and greet. But it's just not me. I want to get to know you, get to know your story. I want to get deep. I want to leave there feeling like I know this person and I can help be a resource for them, or I can connect with them on a much deeper level. So networking events and I, not my jam. Never have been. It feels like everyone's walking around in elevator pitch mode, which is just fake. So I would much rather sit down in a relaxed setting and get to know somebody. Why is that something that I find with a lot of my clients? They also feel the same way. And I think it's when you connect one-on-one, people are more likely to take off the mask. Like we all kind of have those, right? Where we walk around and are putting on our best behavior, right? But the reality is life's messy. We're messy. And when we're able to connect on that one-on-one situation, we're able to actually understand who the person is at their core and take them in with all the mess and all the stuff that makes us human. One of the things that often will happen when you have these more personal one-on-one chats is you're going to get an opportunity where they're going to say, oh, I know this person. You would be a great fit for this person. I'm actually in the recording studio right now, and this literally just happened after our first recording of this episode. So, it's this idea that like, oh my gosh, you believe or have the same value set as my other friend here. Let's get you two connected. Is that going to happen in a networking event? No, it's probably too loud, and you're like taking in half of the language that's happening between the two of you. It's not going to be that opportunity to really like connect on a deeper level. When you're at these networking events, you're constantly in a game of who can I meet that can help me? So every time you're having a conversation, you both are kind of looking off, like, oh, I need to go talk to that person. Oh, my head's always on the swivel, if you will, of who else I need to meet. You're not actually investing deeply into connection and conversation. So if you agree with me and you're like, networking, not my thing, and if it's your thing, great. But if you're not, I've got some good news for you. I've got a strategy that will help you make more meaningful connections than going to a networking event. So where do we start? I want you to start with people you already know. Your network is bigger than you think. Look at your social media account. I guarantee you have a pretty decent connection there. Think about people you sat next to when you were in the office, maybe people you went to school with. Is there a regular in your community that you meet at the post office or the coffee shop on a regular basis? Those are all your network. So lean into those people and figure out if they have someone that you should talk to, or maybe you should even talk to them. Good people know good people. I always say that. So if you're sitting down with somebody and you're having a really good conversation with them, don't forget at the end of that conversation to say, I've really enjoyed this. Is there anyone else in your network that I should talk to based on our deeper conversation? That's where the power of networking really starts happening. You get out of your circle and you're able to have these really deep, meaningful conversations that aren't just in like a room full of 100 different people. Now, what happens if you're like, okay, I'm going to reach out to these people, that's great, but I feel weird. I don't know them. I'm just making that connection through somebody else. Number one, the more you do this, the easier it gets. Full disclosure. But also make the ask easy. Everybody has 20 minutes for the most part. I mean, there's always times in life when that's not true, but focus on, hey, could I sit down with you for 20 minutes? Where I could learn more about your story, right? You want to focus on that person. You want to put that person into an expert seat, if you will, and ask them, tell me more about your story. Tell me more about how you ended up where you ended up. People love to talk about themselves. It's true. So lean into that, right? And through that process, you're going to learn something from them about how they ended up where they ended up. So whenever I sit down with somebody, I have a 5-step model because it's so easy for us to get derailed in a conversation. And what I have found is if I can get 5 questions answered or 5 topic areas answered, by the time I leave, I'm actually moving myself forward. So what are these 5 areas? Number 1, past. How in the world did you end up where you are now? None of us have walked the same path. It's very rare. There's always going to be curves and side jaunts and all these things to where you ended up. So past. Present. What does your day-to-day look like? Because especially if you're like talking with somebody about maybe interested in their field or their job, do you actually know what they do on a day-to-day basis? Maybe not. You might be surprised. And then future. What's the outlook for whatever it is that they're interested or whatever it is that they're doing? I had a client once ask this and the person said, well, in about 6 months, this field isn't going to be here. We're moving in another direction. Had she not asked that question, she would have had no idea and then would have been like gearing her whole career to make this change that wasn't even going to exist in 6 months. And then the other 2 questions are bonus questions. Sometimes it's digging in deeper on something they've done in the past. Sometimes it's what is the culture of your workplace? What is your work-life balance? Trying to find a little bit more about the person behind just this like conversation that you're having. And then don't forget to follow up. We all love to be thanked for our time. It does take something out of that person's day, and showing appreciation and giving specific, meaningful feedback about the interaction is always a win. So make sure that if you decide you want to network, do what's authentic to you. If you are the person who eats up a room full of strangers and is ready to like mix and mingle and go, great. But if it's not, you don't have to do it that way. I'm giving you full permission to lean into what feels authentic and good to you. That's where you're going to find success in networking. Thanks for joining me today on Careers Unchecked. If you've got a career question or just need someone to bounce an idea off of, reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take a breath, take a step, and keep moving forward. You've got this.